20 miles from the ancient city of Bukhara, surrounded by verdant countryside, is the teaching centre and last resting place of Khwaja Abdal Hakim Murad, who died in 1179. In our world of shadows and confusion, of veils and disappointments, the friends of God have been shining and steady beacons, handholds of sure knowledge and calm. This Imam, master of hadith and fiqh and tafsir, overcame the lower unsettledness of his youthful nature and became al-Arif al-Kamil, the perfected knower. He saw that the remembering of God among the people had become a formal or purely emotional affair, and longed to reconnect them with the spontaneous experience of the true God, whose names are the ground of everything in existence. From Khidr, he learned the principle of silent dhikr. The true sage is to be outwardly unremarkable, unnoticed by the many, but within his heart beats Allah, Allah. These are the words of Khwaja Abdul Khaliq. This is my advice to you, O my son. You must thoroughly imbue yourself with knowledge, good conduct, and true devotion. Make a profound study of the Islamic texts. Learn fiqh and hadith. Avoid ignorant fanatics. Always perform your namaz in congregation, but do not be an imam or a muezzin. Do not seek fame, for in fame lies calamity. Do not pry into the affairs of other people. Do not frequent the company of kings and princes. Treat everyone kindly and look down on no one. Do not embellish your outward appearance, for finery is a mark of inner poverty. Do not get into quarrels. Ask favours of none, and do not let yourself become a burden to others. Khwaja Arif was the fourth deputy of Khwaja Abdul Khaliq and transmitted the blessings of the golden chain from him, having stood at his door for many years. He is known as the light of the garden of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He spread the prophetic perfume among the people of his time, opening their hearts to the love of God and the witnessing of his beauty in creation. He was a noble host, his humble home open always to all comers, whatever their status. These are the words of Khwaja Arif al-Riwakri. Trust in God until He Himself becomes your teacher. Make death your partner. Excessive hope for future things is a veil which bars you from the goodness of the path. Whoever asks to enter paradise with no good deeds, this shall be written for him as the sin of all sins. Whoever looks forward to intercession without reason is a victim of sinful pride. How strange it is to see that so many are righteous, while so few are truthful. There are three kinds of hearts. There is the heart which is like a mountain, fixed and immovable. There is the heart which is as a palm tree, its roots firm, but its branches in motion. And there is the heart like a feather, blown to and fro by the breeze. O Allah, if you wish to punish me, then so be it, but never keep me far from your presence. The Spiritual College of Khwaja Arif produced many holy graduates, but the one who was initiated into the innermost secrets of the way of the heart most fully and became his successor in the golden chain was Khwaja Mahmud Anjir Faghnawi. It is related that a man once saw Khidr and asked him, "Where can I find someone who is keeping the prophetic law and the Sirat Mustaqim, the straight path, that I may follow him?" Khidr replied, "The man you seek is Khwaja Mahmud Anjir al-Faghnawi." In the state of purity of the inner secret, the sir, the masters see with Nur Allah, God's light. This is called firasa, insightful perspicuity. The masters of the Muhammadan way see the glory of the haqq, the real in creation, and hence love the animals, birds, plants, and even the rocks. For them, everything created carries a tasbih, a rosary. Their hearts see that all things are translucent, beautiful even when they are majestic. In this way, they love humanity and humanity loves them. They are the living proof of the truth of the prophetic sunnah of wisdom. Khwaja Mahmud's mosque in the village of Vabiqni was a hospital in which every patient was seen as a sign of God's majesty in creation. Khwaja Mahmud preferred the dhikr to be aloud. He said, "Let this awaken the sleepers, let the heedless hear, so that they incline to the way of the real, towards the sacred law, and the spiritual path. When Khwaja Mahmud was near to death, he approached Ali Ramitani, known as Azizan, as his successor. His village of Ramitan is very close to Bukhara. Like all the masters of the chain, Khwaja Azizan earned a living from a trade. He was a weaver. The poet Rumi calls him this, Nesaj. But he was also an ocean of knowledge in hadith and jurisprudence, and people travelled from far and near to seek his legal judgments. These are some of his words. Many people provide service as a favour in exchange for gratitude, but few are they who consider it a favour to be allowed to serve. Strive to feel gratitude for the opportunity to serve until no one any longer has a complaint about you. It is necessary to engage in work and to bring it to its proper conclusion. You must watch yourself with especial care in two situations, while speaking and when eating. He who guides others on the spiritual path is like a trainer of wild animals. He must know the nature and temperament of each animal he has to deal with. The seeker must endure much hardship to reach his goal, but one method will keep his soul aright. This is gaining the love of the heart of one who has given his heart to Allah, for that heart is the focus of the divine attention. Initiated by Khwaja Azizan, the great Khwaja Muhammad Baba Samasi was a renowned scholar of history, kalam theology and logic. It is said that when Khwaja Baha'u'ddin Naqshband was newly born, Khwaja Muhammad noticed a powerful and heavenly fragrance in his village, Qasri Arifan. He had a small orchard and would delight in looking after the trees and shrubs, gaining an overwhelming spiritual state from this employment. Among his words, the following have been recorded. Take guidance from your sheikhs, for they will heal you more quickly than books. If you are a seeker, stay steadfast always in keeping God's commandments and remain in the state of wudu, which is a spiritual purity. Keep your heart free of anything that might distract you from Almighty Allah. Keep your inmost mystery pure, that of which no one may speak. The breast's purity lies in contentment and in hope. The spirit's purity is found in humility and reverence. The stomach's purity lies in only eating lawful food and in abstinence. The body's purity lies in controlling desire. The hand's purity consists in piety and in work. Purity from sins comes from sorrow over past wrongdoing. The tongue is pure when it makes dhikr of God and istighfar. Ask forgiveness always, be careful in all that you do. Follow the way of the righteous in their inward teachings and safeguard the heart from all whispering. The next appointed successor was Amir Kulal, born in a village very close to Bukhara, the noble. He was a direct descendant of the man of praise, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When she was pregnant with him, his mother noticed that her hand could not reach out to any food in whose lawfulness there might be the slightest doubt. Although he made his living as a potter, in his youth the Sayyid had been a famous wrestler and had many pupils who learned this sport from him. One day, Khwaja Muhammad Samasi came to the wrestling ring to watch. One of his weaker followers wondered why the great Khwaja was in this place of worldliness. But the Shaykh looked him in the eye, knowing his thoughts, and said, I am here for one hero who will be a great knower of God. Everyone will flock to this hero for guidance, and he will bring them to the divine love and presence. At that instant, the wrestler looked at Khwaja Samasi and felt the pull of God's love. Following the Khwaja to his house, he took his hand and joined the path. For 20 years he served him, wrestling against his lower self. On his long walks from his village to his teacher's house, the Sayyid would every day see a larger number of God's creatures. In reality, their number was unchanged, but he saw them as gods more and more clearly. The Holy Quran has said, Wherever you turn, there is the face of God. Our response to this is submission to his power and the admission of our helplessness, followed by a longing for service to all of his creatures. Amir Kolal's successor was the Master of Masters, Khwaja Bahauddin Naqshband, Sheikh of the Tariqah. Born in Qasri Arifan village, he was under the mysterious influence of Khwaja Abdal Hakim Murad. In the time of his discipleship, he spent years in service to the sick and the poor, keeping humbleness and tolerance. Then he was instructed to take care of animals, including the street dogs of Bukhara, to clean their wounds and to find food for them. These are his words. It is impossible to attain love of God's people until you come out of yourself. To correct one's intention is very important because intentions are from the unseen world, not the material world. Intention is the wind of the spirit. You must evaluate your every moment. It is presence or it is negligence. Our way is rare and precious. It is the urwa wuthqa, the firmest handhold. Spiritual knowledge is like water. It takes the colour and shape of the cup. The Khwaja died in 1388 and was buried in his garden at Qasri Arifan. In later generations, many madrasas, hospices and prayer halls were built in that place.
So